Another video by The Power of Fire. Fuck, I promise no more coughing this time. It's 5:04, so I don't know. I made like a 15-minute video and I can't see my therapist now, so you guys are it. So I saw the pulmonologist yesterday now, and they're getting worse. We joke about their bees, and the bees are building hives in my lungs, and she gets the joke now and makes fun of it a little bit because part of one of the diagnostic criteria is seeing honeycombing, but it won't show up in a regular x-ray. So regular x-ray, I just have pneumonia, and if you actually run a CT, I have a completely different set of lungs. She's like, she said if I didn't know and didn't have the test results sitting in front of me on multiple occasions of CTs on you, then I would believe that your x-ray and your CTs are not from the same people, let alone somebody who is your age, because you're out of the age range for this. And she said it's a really interesting study on Lyme disease because obviously it's sort of like Tay-Sachs. I don't know if you know anything about Tay-Sachs disease, but it's genetic, and it more often than not affects the Jewish population, and it literally takes your body like a circuit board and turns off switches. And I feel like that's what Lyme has done. It's sort of doing its own flick, flick, flick. And you know, we kind of fight to keep the power on, and we can only do so much. I should be running a bag of fluids, but I am exhausted from work. I should, and then I have to. Sorry. I just took all my meds to stop coughing, so that's why I'm just not so settled in. I've also taken like 3 Ativan because I have to sleep, even if sleeping comes in the form of seizures while I sleep. Yes, I do have seizures while I sleep, but they're much, much safer than having seizures while I'm driving. Where's Trenton? Ow. There's Trenton. Alright. Now I can lay and not want to die and be all crooked. Why didn't I do that in the first video? My whole arm is killing me. No. My head feels like a migraine, encephalitis. I checked my temperature right before I started this video, and I'm such a dork. I checked my temperature right before I started this video, and it was like 103.2. So, the non-stop eating a hole through my stomach, ibuprofen, seems to be helping. The fluid should bring it down. I'm actually gonna put the gravity bag. So lazy. I'm actually gonna put the gravity, the tubing. I'm gonna go get a cup. Not a cup, but a bowl, I guess, a bigger bowl, and put some like colder than 98.9. I don't know, like 96 or something, and put like an ice cube or 2 in it and run it through that. So that should help cool my core body temperature down a little bit. Slowly, subtly. Sometimes I suggest you do on your own. These are just things that I've had to learn. Talking to a friend at work who's interested in becoming a paramedic, and like every other word he says, I have like the medical term for. It's not so enjoyable to do that. It's kind of unenjoyable. It's kind of weird. He's like, yeah, you put it under your tongue and take it. I'm like, you mean sublingual? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, so this pretty therapist doesn't really know what to do with me. I have a follow-up, but I mean, she's like, you know, you see me if it gets worse. Yes, you're coughing up shit. I don't know what it is. Maybe you can bring me a sample, but it's not good, and we're probably, I mean, 9 times out of 10, we're not going to know what it is. They know it's not, like, cancerous, but they're these fibroids. And the idea is that the more I'm moving, I'm shaking them up, and we don't know if exercise is something that is going to make things worse or better. She's like, you know, obviously it's getting worse, but we don't know if that's the season change, if that's just the natural course of the illness, or if it's your activity level. But I've kind of had the same activity level realizing now since about August, so it hasn't really changed. I'm not, doing like extreme sports, and I really would love to go swimming, but I know it would be awful for me. Oh, and I can't pick one. I have to have a cover for it. I haven't ordered a Dry Pro yet. I may have to see if my mom would order one, because I don't remember what size. We threw one away like 9 months ago. It makes me kind of sick. It's just a tube of latex, basically, and it has a blood pressure pump. You suck all the air out, and then you cap it off. That's what I used when I had the PICC line before, to go swimming and hot tub and shower, and I hate cling wrap, so... yeah. It's like been this sort of gradual descent into the idea of death. The summer, it was like I had this control. I was going to do things on my own terms, and then I got this, and I was like, well, I'm not really on my own terms now. I'm in pain, and now it's sort of turned into... I mean, it's like all things I realize, all things I know, but the course of it happening in such a rapid rate is really interesting, because now there's no control. There never was. It was an illusion, but even knowing that you have, and having a delusional illusion is nice. So, there's that. So I don't know what I'm going to keep doing. I have an art project planned for Saturday with some friends. It's really strange, and I hope it goes well. It's not really art, it's just more of, I guess, what they don't recognize as documentation. I feel like that's my job, like 24/7 is to document the highs, the lows, the middle ground, the right now, the in between, with this candle, in this moment, in this second, this is who I am, because it could be gone. I mean, maybe YouTube is my life's work. I don't know. I always hoped it would be teaching. I always hoped it would be... I don't know. I always hoped it would be something that helped others, and not that this doesn't. Obviously, it reaches quite a few of you and has helped you, and I'm really thankful for that, because it provides something for me and some push to keep doing this. So you yawn. 55% of you just yawned. God, I wish I was tired. We joke at work that the job drives people to drink, because that's the only way to get to sleep. Like, you're so amped up at 3:30, 4 o'clock when you get off, and you have to be to stay awake and drive, and, like, not getting to sleep until the sun comes up. The only reason I got to sleep this morning, I guess, being Tuesday, was that my friend came in and I was really sick, and I was like, please come check on me. And she hasn't quite learned that checking on me means checking to see if I'm breathing? I don't think, but anyway. She came and laid in bed until she had to go to work, and her alarm went off twice, and, like, I knew it went off again, but I don't remember. And that was, like, 7:30. How do you guys put up with me? I don't know. So, my next bullet point is just trying to make it to, some of you, if you're my friends, you just lost the game. The next point to try to make it to is Friday. And then just sort of enjoy the weekend as best as I can. And then try to make or create another point to hang on to. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen this friend, and it's really strange because we talk every day and we're, like, so similar. But I miss Liz. I mean, I'm don't get me wrong, I miss my friend. She lives in Nashville, but there's this presence that's sort of missing, and then another one of our friends has sort of disappeared from the group because we haven't disbanded. We've just been made smaller, and we're separated more now, and it takes more work, and I'll work, as hard as I can for a friendship, but some people can't. They just can't, let themselves do that. So, yeah. But both are friends I don't want to lose, and so I've talked to Liz a little bit since she made it to Australia, and I'm really glad she's having a wonderful time. But we miss her. And, I guess Friday I've got to do a bunch of errand running to get ready for the show. And we have a meeting, so we have to plan ahead, and it's sort of weird to plan. I guess it's going to be sort of weird to plan theme nights that are up and coming, because I don't know, like we're doing an End of the World show on December 21st, and Lumberjack show in January, and then there are 2 other shows that a bunch of us want to do that we've come up with or whatever, and so I don't know. I'm just rambling mostly because I'm lonely and I don't want to watch television, and I don't want to run a bag of IV fluids because it's going to make me shake uncontrollably, and I'm going to be alone. And the best thing to do when you're shaking uncontrollably is have somebody here who's willing to hold you until you fall asleep. It's strange because I never had a parent who was an active parent. I had a wonderful set of grandparents who I consider my parents, and when I was 3, I was in a car accident and I was hospitalized overnight. It's a story I've heard time and time again. I screamed for my parents to bring my favorite stuffed animal, and I was hooked up to all these wires because my liver was lacerated. And the only thing I wanted was Mimi. Mimi's my grandmother. And so I crawled up into Mimi's arms, and I guess I fell asleep, and everybody left, and left her with a 3-year-old stuck to wires, and she sat there for 6 hours while I slept. And I think, as I'm sick, that's something I search for. I search, and maybe I thought I found it. Maybe I was wrong, maybe I was right. I'm not sure. Sorry. Not for crying, but if it makes me harder to understand, because it's hard to breathe. Crying is not conducive to breathing. I think I search for somebody that's willing to hold that vigil, and the candle burns. I think about the song from Death Cab, "Who's Gonna Watch You Die?" Love is watching someone die, and now I'm afraid to let people in to watch me die, because I don't know that they can hold the vigil that I thought they used to. I don't know that they're strong enough to see it. So I think that's what I keep searching for. It's somebody who can stand by and stand there no matter how close the blood pools up. I guess something to think about. Every night I burn a candle. That's St. Michael the Archangel. I'm not Catholic. But it's a prayer I appreciate. I read from the teachings of the Buddha and try to understand what I'm doing with this life. But I know that when I go alone. I just want somebody there that'll hold a vigil in honor of me and what I've done. Not necessarily somebody to hold me. Just somebody to be there. To witness. Alright. That got really serious. Well, take care and be well.